is fast, very quick, and involuntary, right? Autonomic. Is it clear? Another thing reflex has, that is, same response will occur every time. Same direction. Now, you see, I hit here, your leg kicks what? Forward, right? This way. It will never go backwards. Always, every time, reflex will occur, leg will kick, same way, right? Forward. So, 3 properties of a reflex. What are those 3 properties? Must be, say loud. Yeah, you're right. Should be fast, very fast, right? Quick, autonomic, involuntary, and repetitive. Is it clear? So those are 3 properties of a reflex. If I ask you, you will write those 3. If you write something else, no. So now, if I hit your patellar ligament here, and if you just voluntarily do that to show that you have reflex, right? Is that reflex? That is not reflex, okay? So it must be involuntary. Brain should, send signal. If I put flashlight on your eye, your pupil should constrict, not dilate. Because lot of light is trying to get in, right? So your pupil will constrict to stop, right? Too much light from entering into the eye. That happens, you know that, pupillary constriction, right? Constriction of pupil. So every time I'll put light, your pupil will do what? Constrict. So you see that same way that your pupil will respond every time. It will not do like one time it will constrict, another time it will dilate. No? It's not like that. So every time, same direction. Constriction of pupil. And you don't do that, right? It happens by itself. It happens by itself. So involuntary. Okay? And reflex test is done to see the consciousness and test the motor function of that person. When I push flashlight on your eye, if your pupil doesn't constrict, that means brain is not sending signal to the pupil. Make sense? Not constricting the muscle. So that determines the consciousness of that person. If you are unconscious, pupillary reflex will not occur. Okay? So, the state of consciousness is tested. Also, your motor response, of course, that is the motor response. Okay. Now, reflex has 5 parts. Receptors, for example, this is your eye, okay, and you have retina of the eye where you have the receptors, photoreceptors. Retina of the eye, you have photoreceptors, and let me see if that is a good example. Probably no. What happens? Let me give you another example. This is your leg, the easy one. This is the patellar ligament here. And in patellar ligament, you have the receptors. What kind of receptors you have? Stretch receptors. Okay? So here you have the stretch receptors. When I hit here, those receptors are activated. Okay? So when I hit here, tap here, the receptors of patellar ligament are activated. And signal goes to the spinal cord this is the spinal cord. Okay, so signal goes to the spinal cord from the receptors, and that is sensory input. You know that. Input, and then your spinal cord will quickly send signal back to the muscles here through the motor output. So motor neurons, and will work on the muscles of the leg, not on the patellar ligament. Will work on the muscles of the leg to kick the leg forward. So that is the effector. Effector is the muscle in this case. In this case, effector is the muscle, because that will cause the movement of the leg. So those are the 5 components: receptors, sensory neurons, integration, motor neurons, and effector. Okay, so 5 components of a reflex. Those 5 components will process the reflex. Here you see receptors, sensory neurons, integration center, motor neurons, and effector. Okay. Let me give you another example. When your body gets hot, sweating occurs, right? Sweating occurs. So you have temperature receptors in the body that will detect that body temperature has increased, send signal to the brain. Brain will send signal to the sweat glands in this case, right? To do what? Sweating. So in this case, you know, the thermoreceptors are in the body, receive the signal, send the signal to the brain, and then brain sends motor output to what?
To the muscles.
To the sweat glands to release the sweat. Make sense? So in this case, the effector or effectors are the sweat glands, not the muscle. That's why I gave you this example. Make sense? So in this case, the effector will perform the action. Action is what? Sweating. So the effectors are sweat glands performing the action to lower the body temperature. Okay? You can give many examples of reflex. Okay, so this is the last one. Okay, so nervous system is very interesting.